I think we should stop telling people that they look like someone else, even if it's a compliment. And the reason why I'm saying this is actually based on my experience. So when I was younger, I used to have a very generic Asian face. I think I still do, but point is, I used to have a very generic Asian face, and that means that I used to get compared to Asian celebrities most of the time. So the very first Asian celebrity that got compared that I was compared to that I got told that I look like was by Fern Pinchano. She is a Thai celebrity. She, if you're not familiar with her, she used to be very famous. She was well known for her role as Nam in Crazy Little Thing Called Love. It's a very old series, but it was very famous in my country at the time. Anyway, people told me that I look like her. And get this, I was very young. I didn't have a sense of identity yet. So what I did was copy how she looked like. You know how had this Nam at the very first part of the series, early on the series. Oh, it's not a series, it's a movie. Uh, Early in the movie, she had short hair and then she had very dark complexion. And then her friends gave her a makeover, and then basically she became pretty. She had this ponytail and then swoop bangs. So I copied that. I was like 10 or 11 years old at this time, so I made her I made her character my personality. And then the next celebrity was Jennie. Yes, from Blackpink. I remember that I constantly got compared to Jennie because I looked like her when she was younger. We had similar baby photos, that's what they said. And then this made me want to get into Korean makeup. I was already a fan of K-pop beforehand, before Blackpink became a thing. But it was because of Jennie that got me interested into trying Korean makeup. I copied Jennie's makeup, and then I just couldn't see it. I really didn't look like her. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that because of how I kept on being compared to her, I still had no sense of identity. I was 16 or 17 at this time, and then in between all this being compared to celebrities, I also I also received messages from my friends where they said that, hey, you look like this meme, or this you look like this person from a random photo online. And then that kind of, okay, get this, some of the some of those photos were meant to insult me, but and some of those photos were meant to just make fun of me. I don't know, but it kind of made me feel that I'm not as special as I think. I'm not as special as I thought I am. that I am not an individual, that I don't have an identity of my own. Because why am I being constantly told that I look like someone else? It didn't sit right with me. So yeah, I didn't feel special. I mean, am I? Let's not get into that. Uh, yeah, my point is, it's kind of damaging, especially when it's a child. It's damaging to a child that's still who is still trying to search who they are, and that's exactly what happened to me. Because I kind of went through a lot of personality in a single year. I tried to get into different aesthetics, and it was not, and I was trying so hard not to get into the mainstream. Because get this, yes, I was constantly like being told that I look like a certain celebrity just because I have an Asian face. But yeah, it also meant that I had to follow their aesthetics, like because they are famous, so their fashion would usually be the mainstream at that time. So because it was Jenny, uh, she used to wear long, no, high-waisted pants and then crop tops. That's what she used to wear. So I was also inclined to follow that kind of fashion, like in general, without copying Jenny anymore. Because whoever is famous, the fashion would also be following what they wear, usually. That's what happened with Jenny. So anyway, that's only because K-pop was so famous and Korean fashion was so in at the time. It was so mainstream. In a way, it damaged the way I view myself. Damage is a big word. What I'm saying is it took me so long to find my own identity. I was really struggling with how to present myself in a way that it would feel like it's me. Some years ago, I only started to find the kind of fashion that I actually like. That is not something that I just saw on the internet. That is not something that I just took from a celebrity. When I got to college, I started experimenting with alternative styles because I was doing my best not to follow the mainstream fashion. Do you get why? Do you understand why I'm doing that? I think it's pretty obvious, but I'm gonna say it. It's because I was so sick of being compared to celebrities that happen to also that also happen to be influencing the mainstream fashion. Because I was so sick of being compared to celebrities. I was so sick of having my individuality stripped away from me just from a compliment, just from a harmless compliment. But it felt like my identity was stripped away from me in a way that it felt like I was just a copy of someone. And I didn't want that for me anymore because I felt like I was a cheap person because of that. And it is yeah, I really hated copying other people's stuff because that really made me cheap. But anyway, yeah, it made me feel cheap. So I started experimenting with my fashion. started getting into alternative subcultures, and that was the time when I finally established what kind of hair I like. Of course, this was a very okay. Get this: I live in a province where people are conservative and they're not exactly accepting of vibrant hair color. Well, my family is not accepting of it. So even though I got this hair, it was not immediately accepted because in its essence it is still anti mainstream. So it was not something that is easily accepted. It was not easily accepted. I had to stand my ground to get this hair. Anyway, getting back, my hair became my identity. And get this, the comparing still didn't stop. But only this time it was not with a celebrity anymore. Not sure if, but it was more of a character. You know Ramona Flowers? Yeah, I got told that I look like Ramona Flowers because of her hair. Ramona Flowers, if you're not familiar with Ramona Flowers is the character from the comic, comics, also movie, also animation. Uh, it's titled Scott Pilgrim. The reason why I got compared to her was because she constantly changed the color of her hair, and that was also my thing. I didn't look like her. We don't have the same hairstyle. We just happen to have the colors. I mean, we happen to change our hair color a lot of a lot of times. Like we happen to change it so many times. Anyway, where are we going with this? Yeah, people still didn't stop comparing me to someone, even though it was just a character this time. It was Ramona Flowers. So I kind of her personality again, but not that way. I don't have seven evil exes. Okay, so going back to how I just I hate this. Going back to how I continued to explore my identity. So yeah, I got this hair already, and my mom didn't like it. Of course, she didn't. And then, even though I was no longer following the mainstream fashion, the alternative fashion, I don't know why, but when I started doing alternative fashion, somewhat the internet also became alternative. And no, I don't think that's my algorithm. It's because everyone wants to be weird nowadays. But I'm not gonna get into that. But yeah, a lot of people on the internet, especially on TikTok started also dyeing their hair, getting piercings, and then like gentrifying, like making themselves look marketable to people. So it became like the alternative fashion that I knew became the mainstream. It suddenly became like, even though it was alternative fashion, I started also going against it because of yeah, I started going against the alternative fashion. The moment someone tells me that, oh, you look so emo or you look so goth and something like that, I do my utmost best to go against what they think of me. Because I'm just so tired of it. Stop comparing me to someone else. Stop boxing me into a stereotype. I just want to feel like I'm me. I just want to feel like I'm known because of what I do, what I look like. I just want to be recognized as myself. I don't want to be recognized as someone else. I don't want to be recognized as Blackpink Jennie. I don't want to be recognized as Boyfriend from Channel. I don't want to be recognized as Ramona Flowers. I just want to be recognized me for being me. And that meant, becoming me meant going against all of anyone's perception of me. I'm straying away, am I? From the point of this video. Anyway, uh, because I kept running away from the expectations that people set on me. So yeah, I guess that's it. I didn't even finish folding. Anyway, I think that's it.